surface area, then surface area to volume ratio will be much higher. In our here, I have not shown the data, but in BET analysis, we have found around
Balram,
1 lakh percent.
last minute.
Okay, sure. So we have surface characterization and chemical characterization we have done. Then in chemical characterization, the polyelectrolyte complex found to be gelatin and chitosan are bounded with electrostatic interaction and hydrogen bonding. In clotting test to in vitro clotting time, we found 8 to 9 seconds, where 8 plus or minus 1 second, and where Silox, the commercially available hemostatic agent, which takes around 90 seconds. So that's a like tenfold decrease in our hemostatic agent. In vitro studies also, we found there is no cytotoxicity and there is no immunogenicity. We have applied with different markers, CD3, CD68 and CD8, T cell, B cell and macrophages. We found no cytotoxicity. And another in vivo hemostatic also, we found it is very much good and it is taking only 9 seconds. To conclude, this is the stable hemostatic agent. Till now, it can be a potential future.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, good. Quick two questions. What is in vivo hemostatic activity?
Sir, in SD-RAT model, we did a femoral artery puncture, so I wrote it as in vivo.
It was artery puncture?
Yes, sir.
Which artery?
Femoral artery, sir.
Femoral?
Yes.
Okay. And this liver, kidney, spleen, that was?
That was for toxicity study. We have subcutaneously implanted the samples and we have tested for like 6 months, 180 days.
No, but the device is for using outside the body, right?
Yes.
But why it was tested inside?
Sir, we are mainly targeting for gunshot wounds and we are focusing to collaborate with DRDO. So for gunshot wound, it's like Silox, when we will add into the wounded side, when we will go for hospital, it should be removed from there. But we are targeting, no need to remove again, it will get, there will be no toxicity, so we are targeting for that.
So it is a hemostat as well as a degradable implant.
Healing effect also. It is exactly not showing any healing effect, like much faster than control, but it is not hampering any problem to the wound healing process.
Okay. Yeah.
So you have shown the porous scaffolds. What is the nanofibrous you have mentioned? What is the diameter average diameter you calculated?
We got 32 nanometer.
32 nanometer.
Yes,
you have
sir.
done the analysis, SCM or anything?
Yes, sir, we have done.
Okay. And any cross-linking you have done?
No cross-linking. That's the plus point of
So
our.
what is the stability? How long it will be stable?
It is stable. When we will add water, it is stable till 6 months.
6 months you have done
In
evaluation?
In vitro, it is stable.
So in what you have analyzed, whether in PBS or any other?
We have analyzed with water, PBS, SBF and DMM media.
Okay, good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Balram. The next presenter is Sonam Swarupa from NIT Roorkee. So these two are BTech final year students, Balram and Sonam. MTech. Achha. Okay. So Sonam is graduation final year student. She is here to present. Okay. Zoom.
Good evening, everyone. Myself Sonam. I am a final year BTech student in the Department of Biotechnology and Medical Engineering, working under Professor Mukesh Kumar Gupta. So this is a part of my thesis work. I am working on the development of an internal teat sealant for the prevention of bovine mastitis. So first of all, everyone might want to know what bovine mastitis is. So bovine mastitis is the inflammation of the mammary gland caused due to the entry of several microorganisms into the teat canal of the cow, which affects the overall milk production, and it causes an adverse economic loss to the dairy industry also. So there are several available solutions for the treatment of mastitis. They include pre and post milking teat dips, antibiotic therapy, or some commercially available teat sealant also, for example Orbisil, teat seal, etc. But they have certain limitations, like either they leave residues in the milk and causes some health hazards to the consumers, and commercially available teat sealants contains heavy metals like bismuth subnitrate. So they causes problem when the calf when the calf drinks milk from the cow. So for overcoming these limitations, we have tried to formulate an inert biomaterial based internal teat sealant which possesses the antimicrobial activity and can be injectable and inert in nature and also cell compatible. So here I am using the material sodium bentonite in an oil base by pulverization and mixing method. The developed ITS was then characterized for several physicochemical and biological characterization, just like surface morphology, FTIR, XRD, hemocompatibility, and swelling behavior, all this. And we will be doing the in vivo animal studies. So the result showing that the developed ITS has no significant changes to the chemical structure or mineral composition of the original material, that is bentonite, and also it shows antimicrobial activity against E. coli which is a gram negative bacteria, and S. aureus which is a gram positive bacteria, and these both are mastitis causing bacteria. So as we can see from the picture, bentonite don't allow the microorganisms to grow on its surface. So from that we can confirm that it has antimicrobial activity. Then also during the biological characterization, we have done the hemocompatibility test as per the ISO standards 10993. So from the hemocompatibility test, it is confirmed that the developed ITS is highly hemocompatible, as it is showing the hemolysis percentage of 1.78 only, which is less than 10%. Hence it is highly hemocompatible. Now to conclude, the bentonite
Sonam,
based,
last minute.
Yes, sir. So to conclude, bentonite based injectable ITS is highly injectable in nature, inert, and has antimicrobial activity against E. coli and S. aureus, mastitis causing bacteria. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Very nice presentation.
Thank you,
So, is it an injectable material?
sir. Yes, sir, it is injectable.
So, it will be applied over the surface or?
No, we will inject into the teat canal, like teat orifice will be there. We will like inject the material through needle.
So, already this
Directly into the teat
sodium bentonite is already in market they are using earlier?
No, sir. Sodium bentonite has several other applications, like they have been using in pharmaceutical industry, cosmetic industry, and several other industry. But bentonite has no application in treating of mastitis yet. So that's why we are
other
filing the
studies
patent
it's
also.
quite beneficial.
Yeah.
And that's why you are using this one for this particular application.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It has already possesses the antimicrobial activity, and it is inert
What
and
is so
thixotropic behavior
specific?
also.
Because antibacterial and all many materials are there. Why this specifically you are using?
Yeah, this specifically because it is inert and it is highly cell compatible. It won't harm to the calf, because It's just a simple soil as it is prepared from the volcanic ash. So अगर वो काफ खा भी लेता है उसको तो कुछ दिक्कत नहीं होगा तो इसीलिए.
This is your BTech project.
Yeah, BTech final year project.
Okay, very good.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sonam?
One question.
Okay.
Yes,
This hemocompatibility, which blood you used?
goat blood.
Goat blood.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sonam. Our next presenter is Pagdi Madhukar.
Yeah, good evening, sir. My name is Dr. Pagdi Madhukar. I am doing my postdoctoral fellow in IIT Guwahati, and today I am going to present traditional food storage techniques in the northeast side. And why we are choosing this one is, as we know, day to day the population is increasing and the demand of harvesting of the food grains are decreasing. So we are not able to meet the demand. So whatever the harvested of food grains are there, those are infected by the insects and pests. For that, the current issues we are solving issues are there like phosphate and bromide based chemical based pesticides is there. Those are helping. Those are affecting our health things. So, if for example, if you see our forefathers are above 100, they live like their lifespan is above 100 is there. If you see our grandfathers, 90 to 100 it is there. Our fathers about 80 years is there. And if you see ours, 60 to 70, and our children's and our grandchildren's, so it is going to be decreased based on our pesticides based or chemical based food heat having habits. So for that, why can't we use the previous knowledge to using the modern these techniques to, can we bring back or not like that we thought, and we visited so many places in the northeast region and we got some of the medicinal based plants which they were used in the traditional food storage system. In that we found that four plants is there that I am going to say that main thing is food moisture content, whatever the harvested grains is there, that moisture content should be maintained. So 10 to 14 moisture percentage should be there, and then only it is going to be give the longer life of the food grains service. So in that, so the people, the farmers are using like a natural drying or field drying, and they are by chewing that grain, and they are saying that from initial harvesting day to the after some time of the sunlight exposure, they come to know that this one is properly dried so that we can store in our compared structures. So the structures also is important in the
Madhukar, last 30 seconds.
So in that there are few structures is there. The plants based bamboo sticks and other plants are there. Those we are going to construct the structures. And the plants which are we identified is neem is a major plant, nirgundi and tulsi, and cannabis also is there, cannabis. So in that we chosen the neem and nirgundi for the base extracting, and we are going to produce a product which is common for all the pests of the grains. So this is the thing, and they are using the mustard oil residue also, and cow dung and mud mixing up to coat the structures inside and outside so that insects protection is there. So these we found, and we are trying to develop a simple product which is going to be effectively work for all the insects. Thank you. Thank you for my center and my college, IIT Guwahati, for giving this opportunity as a postdoctoral. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhukar. So questions?
So cow dung, what I have seen earlier in village also people are using this.
Yes.
The outer and the inner layer.
Yes, sir.
So mostly when it's dry, it's a composite-like structure. So is it that reason it helps in maintaining the moistures and all those things?
Sir?
So the cow dung, what is the role of cow dung in this?
Sir, the role of cow dung is the moisture absorption, whatever the
Moisture absorber.
Yes. And mud also will be there in a cow dung mixed mud, and thus cow dung will give the insecticidal antibiotic effect is there. So that's why
Antibacterial also.
yeah, antifungal and antibacterial. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So you say traditional practices or traditional technologies?
Traditional practices and technologies. Yes. So actually we are using traditional technique to extract the molecules, plant-based molecules like Ayurvedic Siddha, Ayurvedic Thailam. We are using that so that instead of going oxalate extraction of the laboratory, we are using that and this both we together, and we are going to compare that also. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Madhukar. Our next presenter is Ravi Prakash from IIT BHU. Presenters are requested to please stay within 3 minutes.
Thank you.
You're eating at someone's dinner's time. So.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Dr. Ravi Prakash, Research Associate, SMST, IIT BHU, under the supervision of Professor Pralamati. So today I am represent my poster and CNT tagged polyurethane novel biomaterial for drug delivery. Basically, we have developed the CNT tagged polyurethane polymer, and the method is using for the first. We have basically this is the unpublished work. So many data is not presenting here. Basically, we have present the method, and firstly we have prepared the polyurethane and tag big the CNT carbon nanotube with the polyurethane chain and confirm through this characterization. Firstly, we have functionalized the carbon nanotube using the using the HNO3 and H2SO4, further confirmed with the NMR spectroscopy and UV spectroscopy, and further Raman, and tagging with the polyurethane using the UV absorption, and further FTIR and thermal behavior also increases with tagging with the CNT with the polymer, and rheological, a little bit the rheological study is here. Now confirm the tagging of CNT with the polymeric chain, and now further we have used the CNT tagged polyurethane in the drug release system as compared to the physical mixing. Now chemically tagged the CNT with show the better behavior as compared to the physically mixing, and as compared to the pure polyurethane, because polyurethane show the burst behavior, and after tagging with the CNT with the chemicals show the sustained release as compared to the physical mixing as well as pure polyurethane. And we have also studied with the rheological, the gel strength of the CNT tagged polyurethane shows the higher as compared to the physical mixing and pure polymer, and rheological aspect, the shear rate, the higher shear rate, CNT tags show the higher viscosity as compared to the physical mixing. Now basically chemically, now we have concluded the chemically tagged CNT show the higher sustained release as compared to the physical mixing, and the polymeric property also tuned with the CNT and with the grafting of the polyurethane. And thank you. Oh,
hello.
yes, sir.
Yeah, actually CNT is not a biocompatible, right?
Yes.
What type of groups, actually functional groups, we have generated at the surface of the
Basically,
CNT?
we have used the only 0.1% carbon nanotube as compared to the pure polymer. So I think toxicity is very less, and so we have.
So why you use the CNT?
Because CNT chain is a hollow sphere, so drug is encapsulation in the tube, and
What type of drug you have used it?
PTX, paclitaxel.
Paclitaxel. But paclitaxel is very costly, and also CNT is very costly.
Yes.
Right.
But
So
sir, polyurethane is also very cheap material.
Yes. So what is the use actually? Because paclitaxel is very costly, I know that, and
yes.
CNT also very costly, and you know the CNT is not a biocompatible.
Yes.
So what is the use?
Basically, sir, we have checked the release as well as the rheological aspect. So please see the post.
No, that's okay. Just you can
Okay.
tell me.
Basically, we have choose for the CNT as the jelly strength also, and we have developed the injectable ink as well as bio study like Vivo, and in future we have approached for the in vitro. And this study is also going on, so I think not know this is the good or bad. So basically our focus on the higher the injectable behavior like rheological aspect.
But
and-
okay, actually you are already doctorate, right?
Yes, yes.
You completed your PhD.
Okay, okay.
So I think if any PhD students present this type of work, that is okay.
Yes, yes.
But you are the already you did a PhD, so you have to know everything.
Yes.
Why you are using the CNT and why actually pure raw CNT is not a biocompatible. So you have to first you have to develop the biocompatible CNT.
Yes.
Functionalize with any biocompatible polymers or any functional groups, then improve the biocompatibility and then you can add the drug.
Okay.
That is the things. These are concept.
Yes, sir. Basically, sir, we have developed this polymer is using in the quantum dot sensitized solar cell. So this is the another application for our developed polymer. And I got the efficiency like 1.72% for quantum dot sensitized solar cell, and this polymer is published in Polymer Journal. Also, this is the another application of drug release. Okay, this is the my area is quantum dot sensitized solar cell, as well as I think Sopan Mehdi is doing this work for the release, sustained release.
Thank you, Ajay. Our next presenter is
Thank you,
Rajesh
sir.
Chandra Bhatt from Kumai University.
Good evening, everyone. This is Rajesh from Kumai University. Here I am presenting my poster. The title is The Waste-Derived Reduced Graphene Oxide for Wastewater Treatment and High Performance Supercapacitor. So the problem is the tire waste is an alarming situation causing different type of pollution like water pollution, air pollution, and sometimes it is responsible for the emission of greenhouse gases. And the solution is the graphene and its derivatives, which has lot of application, and these are the noble materials. So our synthesis part is we collected the waste tire from the local region of Nainital, and we cut into small pieces and wash and dry. Then we mixed with the fixed amount of catalyst, and after the primary and secondary pyrolysis, we got the raw graphene. After washing and ball milling, we got our synthesized material, and this is the confirmed by the different characterization. The same images indicates the surface morphology of the synthesized material, and the Raman spectra shows the D, G, and 2D band respectively, and this confirms this is the RGO. And the FTIR data and the XRD data support this statement. After this, we used this synthesized material for electrode material for supercapacitor. The specific capacitance of this material found at 316 farad per gram at 5 millivolt per second. And next, the GCD curve indicates the material has good discharging and good charging and discharging capacity. Next, the EIS data shows the material has less resistance, and the supercapacitor device is stable up to 500 cycles, and the material has good power density and energy density respectively. After further, we used this material for wastewater treatment, and this is the Langmuir plot and kinetic plot, and these are the parameters of these plots, and the value in Langmuir plots RL indicates shows the adsorption is favorable. So conclusion is we have successfully synthesized the reduced graphene oxide from the waste tire, and we successfully showed the application of these materials in wastewater treatment and the energy crisis. By this work, we are giving three solutions: the solution for waste tires, and the solution for WWT wastewater treatment, and for the energy crisis. Thank you so much.
So it's having two applications, wastewater treatment as well as for the supercapacitor.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is the novelty? Whether it's a tire is the main purpose that the waste we are converting or utilizing, Or some novel method is there for extracting the graphene and all those things?
Yes, sir. We have, sir, firstly, we have successfully synthesized the reduced graphene oxide from the waste tire, sir, which is a major cause of pollution. And this material shows the excellent power density and energy density in supercapacitor device, sir.
What is the role of nano clay you have mentioned there?
Yes, sir. Sir, it is a catalyst, sir. Catalyst, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Raj. Our next presenter is Tanuja Arya from Kumaon University.
Good evening, everyone. Today I am Tanuja Arya from Kumaon University, Nainital, is here to present one of my work entitled Agriculture Waste Derived Carbon Nanomaterials Based Polyvinyl Alcohol Nanocomposites for Structural Applications. Graphene oxide is a 2D carbon nanomaterial having enlarged surface area and extraordinary mechanical, thermal and electrical properties. So we synthesized graphene oxide from Quercus ilex seeds, natively known as oak seeds. We have used a simple, eco-friendly and cost-effective method for the synthesis of graphene oxide. Polyvinyl alcohol has been used as a water-soluble, non-toxic and biocompatible polymer for the development of polymer nanocomposites. These are the challenges which we solve in this work: synthesis of graphene oxide from agriculture waste using simple and cost-effective method, mass production of graphene-based materials, that is graphene oxide, and improving poor dispersion of graphene oxide in appropriate solvents, and also enhance the thermal and mechanical properties of polymer nanocomposites. This is the schematic representations of the synthesis of agriculture-derived graphene oxide. Next are the characterizations which confirm the synthesis of agriculture-derived graphene oxide. First is FTIR, Raman, UV, TGA, TEM, and EDX data. Next, we prepared AGO PVA nanocomposites using solution mixing method of different weight percentages, 0.5, 1, 3, and 5-8%. Then FTIR and FSM data was performed to check the incorporation of AGO in PVA nanocomposites. Next, we tested the mechanical and thermal properties of the nanocomposites. For this, we have done DSC, TGA, and tensile. So from the DSC data, we found that the melting temperature has been increased by 7.02 degrees Celsius of 5-8% AGA PVA nanocomposites as compared to pure PVA. And the crystallization temperature is also increased by 9.06 degrees Celsius of 5-8% AGO PVA nanocomposite as compared to pure PVA. Next,
last 30 seconds.
Next is the tensile data, which also shows that there is increase in the decomposition temperature, and tensile strength is also increased by 117%. Next is the applications. We can use these polymer nanocomposite films in packaging materials and also structural applications. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanuja. A quick question.
Hi, here.
Yes.
The two things, just clarification. What type of agriculture waste and what are those structures?
Which are waste plastic and energy crisis. So we find a common way to resolve these two issues by converting waste plastic into reduced graphene oxide via two-step pyrolysis method and use that material as an electrode material for the supercapacitor, which is a energy storage device. Here is the schematic representation for the synthesis of reduced graphene oxide from waste plastic. In this synthetic process, first we collect waste plastic from the local region of Kumaon, and then we, after cutting, washing and drying, then we place in a catalyst chamber where we mix catalyst in a fixed ratio and then place in tube funnel for the first pyrolysis. After first pyrolysis, we get raw product, then we again placed in tube funnels for the secondary pyrolysis, then we get the final product. Now this is the schematic representation for the NiCO24, which is a bimetallic oxide, and make its composite with the waste plastic derived RGO. Here, this material synthesized via hydrothermal method. These are the characterization which confirm the synthesis of RGO from waste plastic and my bimetallic oxide and the composite material with the waste plastic. These are the Raman, XRT, IR and the time data which confirm the successful synthesis of waste plastic derived RGO and my composite material and also bimetallic oxide. In this resultant discussion, I performed electrochemical performance of my composite material via 3 electrode system. This is the CV data, this is the GCD, and this is the electrochemical impedance spectroscopy. From the CV data and the GCD data, we can clearly see that it shows the highest capacitance value 1545 farad per gram, and from GCD 834 farad per gram, which shows that it is a highly efficient material for high performance supercapacitor. This is the comparison of my 3 materials, waste plastic derived RGO, bimetallic oxide and its composite with waste plastic derived RGO. We can clearly see that the composite material shows the highest capacitance among all of these 3, and also in GCD data we can also see that it shows the highest GCD data. Now comes to the conclusion. Here I am concluding that we developed an advanced upcycling technology for conversion of waste plastic into reduced graphene oxide and then used as a material for the supercapacitor application. Thank you. Yes.
Any specific direct application of this 3E?
Yes, sir.
This you mentioned 3: economy, energy, and this one, right?
Yes, sir.
So any direct application of any of these 3, or it all applies to all?
It applies to all, sir. So directly, if we convert waste plastic into RGO material, then we conserve ecology, environment, and also energy via as we use that material to be applicable for supercapacitors.
Yeah, that is the proposal, but I mean, I just asked any direct one. So one, the waste is reduced, that is one direct.
Yes, yes.
So like that, energy, what about that? Energy.
So energy storage system, we apply this material for energy storage system, which is supercapacitor.
Like supercapacitor?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Next we have Tanisha.
So our next presenter is Tanisha Mukhopadhyay from Haldia Institute of Technology.
Good evening, everyone. Myself Tanisha. So my topic is production of biofuel from algal biomass by the process of aqueous phase reforming. So this review works like aqueous phase reforming is a unique topic that can be domestically used. Like it is a process where you use the biomass derived oxygenated nanocompounds or the nanofibers for production of the BHP or the biohydrogen. So here it is like we are using the gold nanoparticles or the gold nanocatalyst. We are synthesizing the gold nanocatalysts by using the sol-gel method. So since the sol-gel method is a more chemical or a wet thermal method, so for that we are synthesizing the gold nanoparticles using the sol-gel method and characterizing it. And with the activated carbon, we are supporting it for the aqueous phase reforming process of a synthetic wastewater. So what do we know that synthetic wastewater contain? So the synthetic wastewater or the brewery wastewater mainly contains of the sucrose or the sugar compounds or the bagasse compounds like ethanol. So these are sweet. So for that the BHP level has 62.5% higher yield. Like we can get a completely renewable product for a sustainable energy development. And the sol-gel method and also the aqueous phase reforming, it is totally cost effective and energy saving. So we're using the aqueous phase reforming process for the production of biofuel. And also we are using here the macroalgae, since macroalgae has more enhancing power and it doesn't get degenerated after certain period of time. So we're using certain macroalgae like C. butyricum and the Capifacus alvarezi. So these two macroalgae are used as the feedstock material for the raw material for the production of the biohydrogen and the production of biofuel as a result. So this is the bio oil we are getting after synthesizing of the nanoparticles with the biomass derived compounds. And since the novel method, the gold nanoparticles has a higher stability and low degenerative property, doesn't produce a charcoal or the coke effect at the end. So it has a lower band gap. So these are the novel properties that gold supports. So we are using the gold nanoparticles for the production. So overall, this is a domestical method, we can consider it. So this process could be helping like switching to a higher hydrogen production rate, and also we can consider the biofuel as a future fuel. So this will like lead to a greener and sustainable development towards the future, and we're getting the 62.5% higher yield of hydrogen as the end product. So this
Last
is the
10 seconds. Okay. Please conclude.
Okay. So the conclusion is this is a more sustainable method, and this is a newer method we are trying to. The APR is already a newer method. The industrial scale, we know that SMR or the CFR processes are like steam methane reforming. Those are producing the carbon emissions to the environment. So this is this will produce a zero carbon content in the atmosphere. So producing the zero carbon content, we can get a biofuel and a greener method. So this method is entirely a sustainable method. So we can use it in industrial scale after getting the biofuel, and we can make it a cost effective one at the end. Thank you.
Thank you. A quick question.
Here. What is
you
the...
have a question.
Oh,
You have a question, someone is asking.
here.
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah, see, what would be the, yield or outcome of this? How much we can produce, at least in lab scale? Say 10 kilogram of algae, if you take, how much fuel we can make out of it?
It depends on how much, what type of, how much algae or how much quantity of algae we are taking, and what type of characteristics the algae has. So we are characterizing the algae as well. There are different types of algae in the nature. So you have to take a specific type of algae and the quantity of algae. So with that you can produce a certain amount of biofuel. So.
But this is not a new concept, right? It is already there.
Yes,
Reliance has a center there, in
Yes.
Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
So,
but the APR is a new concept, like aqueous phase reforming in the liquid phase, it is a new concept. So we can apply that process for producing the biofuel. So that will be a new concept to that.
I think
Sorry. Actually, question is that what percentage the biofuel you can get from the algae? Yeah, you can use the different type of algae, you can get the different ratios. But whatever you have done,
Repeat your question. Repeat your question, sir.
How much fuel you can get from your algae, whatever you use the algae?
Like in the lab scale, you are asking about the lab scale.
Yeah, this is lab scale, whatever. You did research, right? You
Yes.
did already work, so you know how much the raw materials and end product, how much you have.
We can take the amount on weight basis. Like let's suppose we are taking 8 gram of algae and we are producing a certain amount of biofuel at the end. So
Not certain amount, the
the
amount.
exact amount I don't know, sir. Actually, it's a combined research work and I am presenting. So I have taken the algae part and the biofuel part is done by someone else.
Okay.
So, okay.
Okay, thank you, Danisha. Our next presenter is Dimple Singh from IIT Roorkee. Dimple, 3 minutes.
Hello everyone, myself Dimple Singh. I'm under Vibhor Rastogi sir. I am from IIT Roorkee. So the work which I am here to present is on gene ontology and pathway. pathway enrichment analysis of neurological disorder. So this idea is based on predicting neurological disorders. These disorders which we are working on, Alzheimer's disease, Huntington disease, and the Parkinson disease. So we'll start with the neurological disorder. For predicting this neurological disorder, we have seen the ATP energy requirement. We have seen the mitochondrial role in the neurological disorder. These neurological disorders are associated with the ATP synthesis, and the failure of ATP synthesis in neurological disorder will further leads to the death. So we start with the literature survey. Firstly, we have identified the mitochondrial proteins that were involved in the neurological disorder. So we enlisted 60 mitochondrial proteins that were associated with this work. So the methodology we have adopted for this work involves the collection of the raw data, then we perform the biological analysis, then we perform the chemical analysis. Further, we have done the gene ontology prediction, then we have done the pathway enrichment analysis, and then further we'll move towards the protein-protein interaction analysis. So we'll have done biological analysis, these were the results. Then we have done the cellular analysis, which genes were involved with the chemical processes. Then we have done the metascale analysis. In last, we have performed the Panther pathway analysis and protein-protein interaction analysis, which helps us in concluding the genes which were associated with the neurological disorder. So we have identified the 3 proteins that were PSN2, PSN1 and AB that were associated with the Alzheimer's disease and the other diseases. SYNG protein and HTT belongs to Huntington disease. This study further identifies the mitochondrial protein that functions in the neurological diseases, and further we can predict the drug also in later work. Thank you.
Thank you, Dimple. A quick question, sir.
One quick question. What is your sample for analysis?
So we have we have taken literature survey. Through this literature survey, we have enlisted few genes. And
That's okay.
These genes
real
were further
application,
analyzed.
what would be the sample?
What will be the sample? I didn't get.
So this is an analysis study only?
It is the only analysis and study.
Okay.
Bioinformatics tools we have used for this study. No sample.
So the outcome is that identification of three genes.
The outcome, we have predicted 15 proteins that were associated with the Alzheimer's disease. The 15 biological pathways we have also analyzed, which were associated with the Huntington disease. We have basically we have predicted the pathways which can be associated and which can be further treated to ensure the screening of or prediction of any drug. We have done that.
Okay. Thank you, Dimple. Our next presenter is Shahista Fatima from IIT Roorkee. Shahista, 3 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Shahista Fatima. I am a PhD scholar at IIT Roorkee under the supervision of Professor N.C. Mishra. And the topic of my poster presentation is Sustainable and Valorized Future Upcycling Method for Post-Consumer Plastic Waste Flooded in the Environment. The term plastic waste refers to the accumulation of plastic products in the environment that have been discarded by the consumers or industries, and the stockpiling of these plastic products in the land and ocean is nothing but a global problem. As the plastic is a persistent material, it remains in the environment and has long-term effects on humans, animals, on land, air, groundwater, etc. So we need solutions to prevent their effects. Approximately 146 million metric tons of plastics are released into the environment, out of which only 5 to 6 million metric tons are recycled, and leaving the remainder for landfilling, plastic incineration, pyrolysis, etc. And these techniques have some negative effects too, like landfilling results in the contamination of groundwater and leaching of chemical substances in the soil. Last. Several investigative work suggest the use of plant biomass like coir and banana fiber and nano clay to convert the plastic product into some value-added products. Like if we use nano clay, then it will convert polymer into graphene nanosheet, which can then be used for the production of nano capacitor, and this will help to meet the demand for sustainable green energy. Okay, thank you.
Sir, quick question.
Yeah.
Yes.
What you have done?
Actually, this one is a review.
Oh, only review.
My work is not started yet.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Shaista.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our next presenter is Parichita from MAHE, Manipal.
Good evening, everyone. I am Parichita, and I will be presenting a review work related to my thesis. So the topic of my poster is Challenging the Complexities of Articular Cartilage Regeneration, a clinical outlook on bioprinted therapeutics. So our work is focusing towards 3D printing and bioprinting for cartilage tissue engineering. We are focusing on osteoarthritis, which is an aging-related disorder, which is very commonly occurs in people as they age due to many factors such as unloading of joints or improper lifestyle choices. So the main challenges that we face in osteoarthritis is hypertrophy of the cartilage, neurovascular invasion, cartilage degeneration, and of course we have inflammation, which is very difficult to target. There are existing products such as matrix-assisted chondrocyte techniques and other products like BST, Cargel, etc. But they do not, they have been inadequate in targeting the structural regeneration aspect of the articular cartilage. So with 3D printing, which has now been introduced into bioprinting with the help of with the introduction of bioinks, we have the concept of bioprinting, which involves bioinks, which focuses on the mechanical properties, the bioprintability, and also the biocompatibility of the material which is being printed. Some of the current clinical products which exist in this field have include DLP-assisted graphene oxide scaffolds and decellularized porcine bioink, which has been methacrylated so that it can be cross-linked in UV light. There's a lot of scope in this field, and we also hope to contribute to this in the future. Thank you.
Hello, Parichita. So this is your review or experimental work?
Review work, sir.
Okay. So you didn't do any experimental work?
It's ongoing, sir.
Okay.
Our next presenter is Ankita, again from MAHE, Manipal.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ankita, and today I will be discussing about the hybrid tissue reconstruct for articular cartilage regeneration. So as we know, regeneration and repair of an articular cartilage is a difficult task, as there are many surgical treatments which are applied like AIC, MAIC, but then there is always a reoccurrence of the osteoarthritis or a defect in the system. So what we have tried to do is we have tried to make a hybrid tissue reconstruct by using chitosan and chondroitin sulfate and silk fibrin. So what we have done is, it's not clear, but what we have done is we have used chitosan and chondroitin sulfate, which creates a polyelectrolytic complex, and through a vigorous stirring, there you can find a separation of layers, which we removed the suspended part and replaced it by silk fibroin and freeze dried it. And there are 3 types of scaffolds which we have compared. One is silk, chitosan and chondroitin sulfate. The other one is where we have put sodium alginate. And the third scaffold is where we have put sodium alginate as well as PRP, that is platelet-rich plasma. So what we found out is there is varying pore size in all the 3 scaffolds, which ranges from 60 to 300 micrometers. And when we see the mechanical strength, the PRP has enhanced the mechanical strength of the scaffold by 5 folds. That means it has reached up to 0.15 megapascals. And it has also seen that due to the presence of PRP, there's enhancement in the chondrocyte differentiation, as well as it retains the structure of the morphological structure of the cell. And we can see that due to the scaffold which we have prepared can have recovery structure of its scaffolds. So yeah, these can be used for full thickness defect as well as partial thickness defects.
It's very nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
So future, what is your future plan in that regard?
So we have done the in vivo studies where we could see the regeneration. Like if you can see here, this is the first one was the native tissue, and when the hybrid scaffold was put as well, there was almost repair of the tissue. So this can be used for full thickness and partial thickness defect.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ankita.
Thank you, sir.
Our next presenter is Pawan Pandey from IIT Roorkee.
This is original work?
Bisham sirs, Dr. Bisham Narayan Singh.
Okay.
Hello everyone, myself Pawan Kumar Pandey and I am from IIT Roorkee, Department of Polymer and Process Engineering. The topic of my presentation is synthesis of a biomimetic conducting hydrogel for repairing peripheral nerve injury. It is a basis hypothesis. This presentation is mainly based on a hypothesis, and our target is a peripheral nerve injury. We know that the peripheral nerve injury affects the million of people globally every year, and many of them suffer from a life-threatening diseases like paralysis, etc. And majority of them, which the therapeutic available, they are not sufficient enough to gain the fully functional recovery. So the need of a complete therapeutic option is need of the moment. Currently, what is the background of my hypothesis? We know that the ECM-based biomaterials, they have the natural compositions, and that's why they are ideal for the tissue engineering, mainly for the nerve tissue engineering. And the conducting nanomaterials, they provide electric conductivity to the hydrogel, and that's why they are highly needed for the nerve tissue engineering. And the carbon dots, who are green synthesites, they have the ability of like biocompatibility, biodegradability, as well as the major important thing is their ability to cross the blood-brain barrier. Further, the umbilical cord derived stem cells, they have the ability to be differentiated into many types of body cells, mainly fibroblasts and liver cells, especially nerve cells also. And the magnetic field, which is applied non-invasively and externally, they play a synergistic role in the nerve regeneration. So my hypothesis is, if we use a decellularized ECM hydrogel from a dead animal and decellularize it, and after lyophilization, percolation and gel formation, prepare a hydrogel. Then we prepare a conducting nanomaterial. Then we will prepare a Centella asiatica based carbon dots, and then we will isolate the umbilical cord derived stem cells from a pregnant lady, and then we will incorporate it and apply it over a degenerated nerve, and then it is possible that in the presence of external magnetic field stimulation, our nerve will get regenerated. Thank you.
So, this is your experimental work?
Sir, a few parties experimental work and is hypothesis, we are working over it. Currently, sir.
See, this is ECM, right?
Yes, sir.
So what would be the ECM for generally for neural cells, peripheral? You should be using that, right?
Sir, currently we are just decellularizing neural tissues like a brain or spinal cord based ECMs.
Oh, okay, so brain ECM.
Yes, sir. We are going to decellularize it and then we will use as the ECM for a hydrogel. We will form a hydrogel based on these ECMs.
Animal derived, huh?
Yes, sir. Dead animal based.
Okay.
Thank you, Pawan. Our next presenter is Swati Sharma from IIT Roorkee.
Good evening, everyone. I am Swati Sharma from IIT Roorkee, under supervision of Dr. Narayan Chandra Mishra. Today, I am going to present my hypothesis on the topic nanocomposites of synthesized green carbon dots and shape memory polymer for treatment of intracranial aneurysm. So, before starting my topic, I would like to introduce with what actually is intracranial aneurysm. So, intracranial aneurysm basically are the ballooning in the weak areas of blood vessels in the brain, and in the condition of high blood pressure, the rupturing of that blood vessels might take place and it leads to the death of the person. So intracranial aneurysms basically are the tickling tie bones which might explode at any moment, and intracranial aneurysm affects millions of people worldwide annually. And in most of the cases, in 25% of the survey, it is seen that the patient dies instantly, and in 60 to 70 percent people, it is seen that within the time span of 3 months, person will ultimately die, and in case of 60%, if they will survive, but the complete recovery from this disease is not possible. And next, currently there are two methods, endovascular coiling and surgical clipping, which is commonly used for the treatment of this condition. But for intracranial aneurysm, which are wide-necked or have complex geometry, in that case, these current methods are not totally effective. So it is one of the major international concern which needs to be further investigated. So through my research work or the hypothesis, I will try to solve the problem of intracranial aneurysm by using carbon quantum dots, which can be easily synthesized from green source by employing hydrothermal method. And if we will be using green source, so first of thing is the cost effectiveness that can be easily resolved, and it can be easily scaled to the industrial scale also. Secondly, as we know that carbon quantum dots are quite nanotoxic, biocompatible, and they can easily cross blood barrier potential. So hence they have potential as the theranostic agents. One of the quite fascinating properties of carbon quantum dot is their fluorescence. So because of their fluorescence, they can easily have potential for the diagnosis of diseases. As we know, suppose something is like there in our brain, but we are not able to easily detect that situation. So in that case, if we can use some imaging agent like carbon dot, so that will be the easier. And another thing is,
Swati, last 30 seconds.
okay, and we can combine it with the shape memory foams which have low density, high porosity and compressibility. So in that case, with the combination of carbon dots from the green source and these shape memory polymers, we can make a composite and we can use it for the treatment of intracranial aneurysms. Thank you.
Thank you, Swati.
A quick question. How this will be used in aneurysm?
Sir, it will basically be, as I told, that it will be having good compressibility. And in case of aneurysm, basically we have bulging in the arteries. So in that case, in like it can be inserted as a foam.
My question is, no, it should be in a form that is usable. Is it in solution form which will set later, or it will be in a compressed form which will expand? How it will be?
Yeah, sir. So, like it is the case that suppose it, like in case of aneurysm, suppose if the bulging is happening. So, if we can like put these foams in that, and we are going to load the drugs also in that. So, with the time, like the slow span of the release of drugs.
This is brain aneurysm, right?
Yes,
It has
sir.
to be put inside, cranium.
So, sir, actually, this is only the research cap in this work, that in vivo study has not been done yet. So, we are going to explore that in vivo part only, that how these shape memory polymers can actually be inserted in brains and how they will be function further. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Swati. So our second last presenter is Balachandra Navinathan from Academia Sinica, Taiwan.
So good evening, all. I'm Balchandra Navinathan from Academia Sinica, Taiwan. I'm a postdoctoral fellow. My work is about 3D ultraspinning, 3D topographic scaffolds. All the ultraspinning technique can produce fibrous scaffolds that closely mimic collagen fibrils of the native tissue. But it also comes with several pressing challenges. That is because in conventional multi-jet ultraspinning, the electrified jet undergoes whipping instability, causing them to spray deposit randomly over the collector. So this process is non-reproducible, and as produced scaffolds are mechanically weak and cell impermeable, and it's like 2D like thin film scaffolds. So our approach is like a ultrapilot single polymer jet. Here, instead of we use multi-jets, we go with a single jet, and this single jet undergoes self-switching between mode 1 and mode 2 rapidly, indefinitely. So we don't do anything by ourselves. So it's just based on the charge retention and the dissipation on the fibers on top of this collector. And so this mode can actually expand this area and the thickness of the scaffold in concentric circles. And because when you use the 3D collector as a template, the electric field is highly non-uniform. So prior studies unable to achieve conformal fiber deposition. However, when we used a 3D collector just like this, we were able to achieve the 3D conformal fiber deposition to have a 3D scaffolds. These are the replicas, and these images show that we can able to produce a scaffolds in the human organ scale, and they are self-supporting as well. And the physical and mechanical characterizations show our scaffold is 15 times porous than the conventional one, and because it has buckled fibers in the base layer, so it provides excellent mechanical strength. And in terms of cell culture studies, we performed 3D cell culture, and it shows the better cell attachment, proliferation, and 3D cell penetration deeper into the scaffold. So to conclude, this is the first study to show that using ultraspinning technique, you can also produce 3D scaffolds, which can be also used alternatively to the 3D printer. And we have identified several processes, and we identified several applications, like from skin tissue engineering to, of course.
Professor N.K. Ganguly to honor him by presenting a bouquet. गाना का हो गया, एक गाना लोड करो, एक फंक्शन का गाना होगा जल्दी। अरे कुछ कुर्सी उठा लो ना, 4-5 कुर्सी उठा लो ऊपर ऊपर। साइड में रख, साइड में टाइम लगेगा क्या? साइड में साइड साइड
पम 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 ये देश है वीर.
So now Gautam and Garima, they will perform a dancing on a special song, please.
पम 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 ये देश है वीर जवानों का, अलबेलों का, मस्तानों का, इस देश का यारों, इस देश का यारों क्या कहना, ये देश है दुनिया का गहना. पम 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 मेरा जूता है जापानी, ये पतलून इंग्लिस्तानी, सर पे लाल टोपी रूसी, फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी. मेरा जूता है जापानी, ये पतलून इंग्लिस्तानी, सर पे लाल टोपी रूसी, फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी. पम पम पम
हर करम अपना करेंगे ऐ वतन तेरे लिए.
दिल दिया है जान भी देंगे ऐ वतन तेरे लिए. पम 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 पम
आजा आजा जिंदू शामी आने के तले, आजा जरी वाले नीले आसमान के तले. चक दे हो चक दे इंडिया,
चक दे इंडिया. वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम. सुजलाम सुफलाम मलयज शीतलाम सस्य श्यामला मातरम. वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम. ये दुनिया एक दुल्हन, ये दुनिया एक दुल्हन, दुल्हन के माथे की बिंदिया. ये मेरा इंडिया, ये मेरा इंडिया, I love my India, ये मेरा इंडिया. हम लोगों को समझ सको तो समझो दिल भर जानी, जितना भी तुम समझोगे उतनी होगी हैरानी. फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी, फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी, फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी, फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी.
Okay, thank you, Gautam Garima. Very good, very good. So now I request Pujya Swami Chidananda Saraswati ji, please come on the stage, and Professor Ganguly, please also. Swamiji is really tired and he has very less time, but as we are interested to take his blessings, so he kindly graced the occasion. Thank you, Swamiji.
Our respected Shri Ganguly ji, a man of vision and a man of mission, has done so much for the nation, and I'm so glad to have him here in Paramarth Niketan. This conference is an opportunity to have him here, but he is a great leader of our nation. And all of you being here for 3 days, I hope it was a great experience for you all. But first of all, welcome home and welcome to your Himalayan home. 3 days conference is being over, but I want you to keep coming, conference or no conference. But there should be more homecomings. I was just reading one quote, this was listening to these beautiful children. I love my India. Mera dil hai Hindustani. All these songs, they really teach us about our culture, about our patriotism. I was just saying today, somebody asked me a question. Do you think, when they were talking about Mera juta hai Japani, patloon hai this and dil hai Hindustani, I was thinking, and today somebody asked the same question to me. Do you think we should wear jeans? I said, I am not worried about wearing jeans, but I must tell you, you must take care of your jeans. Wear jeans, not a problem, but you must take care of your jeans. It means our values, our sanskaras, in wherever we are, in whatever field we are, whatever profession we are, we must have our values instilled with us. I was just reading this, the science and spirituality are the two sides of the same coin. Because I was very young when I came to this path. At the age of 8, had the divine touch of my master. And after 1 year of silence at home, I was brought to the forest. Since that young age, I have seen the life is amazing. No matter what field you are in, what को अंदर की खोज कराती है. साइंस बाहर से जोड़ती है, बाहर क्या है, और स्पिरिचुअलिटी भीतर क्या है, भीतर से जोड़ती है. इसलिए हमारे देश के प्रधानमंत्री बार बार कहते हैं, one side is spirituality and other side is science. They must go together, hand in hand. In our life also, you need this internet. It's amazing. Everybody, wherever I go, I just came back from abroad. I was watching people sitting at the airport. So many people from all over the world. Airports are so full. Especially Chicago airport is the biggest airport. So much traffic is there. I was just watching. And everybody sitting with each other, but they are looking at their own smartphone. We are smart people, but our phone became so smart that has drawn our interest so much. We are become so busy sitting in one car, being together. Nobody is talking to each other, but they are talking to others. That's why we need some grounding. Science is great, gives you the clues, gives you the wings, fly to the world. You can connect yourself to the world through internet, but to connecting to yourself, you need internet. So life is a beautiful combination of internet and internet. If that is there, no matter where you are, because I was in the caves, then went all the way to California. Being from caves to California, the whole journey I have seen, it's not you are in the caves or in California. Main thing is where you are. That kind of anchoring you need, no matter wherever you are in the world, but you are grounded, you are anchored. Then whatever happens, things may go up and down, but you will not go up and down. You will be grounded, anchored. You will be very happy. Today, life, rather than being in peace, life is in pieces. Rather than being better and better every day, life is becoming bitter and bitter every day. That's why I'm glad you have kept this conference here on the banks of Ganga, which brings you to that attention. Maybe you can draw the line here. Enough, seen, more, done. Let me have a new direction from here. And the direction should be science is great, must be there, has done great invention on this earth. But to be with yourself, you need internet. You need your GPS on. You can go on Facebook, but end of the day, you have to face your book. Read there what is there in my Facebook, what is there in my balance sheet, what is happening to me, where do I stand. People come here most of the time, they ask me one question. They come here from all over the world. Recently, just 2 weeks ago, we had people from 80 countries. 1 month ago, we had people from 67 countries. People keep coming. First question they have, do you have a Wi-Fi here? First question. Everyone asks Ganguly, do you have a Wi-Fi? Oh yeah, I want to come, but I need internet. I said, yes, definitely we have a Wi-Fi. But my dear, after staying for 2-3 days, when the interaction takes place, I always tell them, you are not here for Wi-Fi, you are here for Wi-I. Why I am here? For Wi-Fi, you have a whole world. For Wi-I, you have Rishikesh. You have these places. You have banks of Ganga. You have this Himalayas. So my dear, you are all young people. Energy is great. But at the same time, please, if you want synergy in your life, have that touch, which will bring transformation in you, which will connect to you, to yourself. When if you are connected to yourself, you can connect to the world. This land gives you the connection. Life is not mere collection. Life is connection. You need that connection. And when you are connected here to yourself, to your GPS, believe me, no matter where you are, you will be great. You will be happy. You will be in peace. That peace will not be temporary, peace will be there. It's not that you love ice cream is over, happiness is over. You love movie is over, happiness is over. End of the day, when you come back from movie and sitting together, even having great fun, being on the beaches. I have seen people in America. I remember was one time, long weekend, the July 4th, long weekend. So many people out, coming back, and that same weekend, we got stuck because something happened in Chicago somewhere, and all in New York, got stuck, so many flights were cancelled. I could see the chaos. Coming from vacation, coming from the beaches, and people sitting with each other, shouting at the desk clerk, and I was amazed. 4 days you are on the beaches, having fun, having great time, and where is that peace? Holiday is over, that peace is over. And I could see the people are fighting with each other, husband, wife, they went for fun. On the way, coming back, just one here and there and sitting together, shouting at each other. And I heard, they said, wife is saying, what happened? Life is great. Have everything. Have glamours in life. No problem. Our spirituality never negates all these things. But at the same time, teaches a lesson. The life is only not to have more. Life is to be more. Being more is the key. I have seen people being in the jungle. They were living with less, but they were being more all the time. Anybody you ask, how are you? Super, mast. What was that which was making the mast? This is the message I have brought to you, because you are in the land of rishis and in Rishikesh. When you go back, please take this message, remember every day, meditate, introspect. Take this 3 multivitamins. Meditation in the morning, no reaction during the day, and introspection before you sleep. This will change your life. Because I observe silence from 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. It's almost 10, I think. I wish I could be longer with you, but I have to stop here. But again, welcome home. And there should be more homecomings, and I love you all. God bless you. And thank you for being here. Wonderful.
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you very much. We are grateful you are here and use our blessings to us. I will take 1 or 2 minutes just. Okay, I request Professor Ganguly to honor him with a guest of honor. I will request Samiji also to honor Professor Ganguly with guest of honor. Okay. Thank you, Samiji. Thank you.
10 मिनट में
एक परफॉर्मेंस
अवार्ड नहीं लियो
एक परफॉर्मेंस के लिए
ठीक है
শরীর ভালো না মানে 8টা থেকেই বসে আছে
बोल दीजिए आज
हमारे हैंड में नहीं है आप अनाउंस कर दीजिए
चलो आएगा ना हम लोग बात कर लेंगे सुनो ये कर रहे हैं बस 5 मिनट में होना है ठीक है बना के डांस खत्म कराना अवार्ड जिसको होगा फोटो खींच लेगा भाई
आप अपने फोन से प्ले कर दो ना
हाँ मैं बता
ये लो इसमें फोन फोन पे लगाओ
ये माइक लो
Hello. Good evening, everyone. I request your kind attention towards the dais. We have Ms. Nivrita Sahu, who is going to perform a dance for us.
So good evening people. Myself Tanisha. I will present a Tagore song, Rabindranath Tagore song. The song I'll present is, the meaning of the song will be stand alone. So we all have to stand alone, self-dependent. We need to be that, right? So the song I'll present will be Ekla Chalo Re by Rabindranath Tagore from Kahani by Amitabh Bachchan. So that song I'll present here. So here's the song. যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে তবে একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো রে তবে একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো একলা চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে যদি কেউ কথা না কয় ওরে ওরে ও ভাগা কেউ কথা না কয় যদি সবাই থাকে মুখ ফিরায় সবাই করে ভয় যদি সবাই থাকে মুখ ফিরায় সবাই করে ভয় তবে পরাণ খুলে তবে পরাণ খুলে ও তুই মুখ ফুটে তোর মনের কথা একলা বলো রে তু শোলা বঞ্জা तू शोला बन जा जो खुद जल के जहाँ रोशन कर दे एकला जलो रे जो खुद जल के जहाँ रोशन कर दे एकला जलो रे যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে থ্যাংক ইউ
Thank you, Tanisha, for the beautiful song. And now Madhuparna is there? Or no? So she was about to dance. So now Gargi Mishra wants to play a song on the synthesizer. But there is some problem of electricity. Maybe, come here. यहाँ पे हाँ वो कैमरा इधर घुमा देना इसके पीछे सब अवार्ड इधर ले सब रवि प्लीज हेल्प जल्दी ये सब अवार्ड इधर इधर अरे सब अवार्ड लिया होगा कि अरे भैया इसको तो चालू कर दे अरे ये वाला चालू कर दो नेशनल सॉन्ग की কি সেটা জানেন? বন্দে মাতরম, ন্যাশনাল সংটা এটা। আমিও তুই যা বাজাবি বাজা, যাও। अरे थोड़ा ऊंचा करो भैया। ओ भाई टाइम करोगे तो अभी चला जाओ तुम लोग। 15 मिनट ऑलरेडी वेस्ट कर दिया अभी टाइम टाइम बोल के। দেখ বাচ্চা কিনা দেখ, আওয়াজ আসছে আসছে। Now Gargi Mishra will play a song on synthesizer, please. Now we complete our cultural ceremony. Now our award function will start. So I request Professor Ganguly to come on the stage. अरे भीषम मेरे को अवार्ड लिस्ट दो। नहीं वो दूसरी का अवार्ड लिस्ट दो बच्चों का। ये तो मेमोरियल अवार्ड। अरे ठीक है। हाँ वाला फंक्शन वाला ये बेस्ट पोस्टर वो दे। बेस्ट पोस्टर, बेस्ट इंटेलिजेंट स्टूडेंट अवार्ड, सरस्वती अवार्ड। ठीक है रख दो। So, Professor Chandan Kumar, our committee had selected him for Swami Vivekananda Memorial Award. Please come on the stage to receive the award. Our committee selected Professor Durba Pal for Susruto Memorial Award. Please come. Professor Praloy Maiti, Edward Jenner Memorial Award. this side, this side, this side. Professor Sanjeev Kumar Mato, Meghnad Saha Memorial Award. Professor Amol Kanti Vera, Nikola Tesla Memorial Award. Professor Vera, so no need to award. Professor Gopinath, Steve Jobs Memorial Award. Professor Jeng, C.V. Raman Memorial Award. चापू का भी कहाँ है? चलो जिसका जो जैसे है नंदू को बोला गया जिसको जैसे. Professor Chapu Cho, C.V. Raman Memorial Award. कौन है? रख दो. कोई उठा के ले ले. ये अवार्ड लास्ट में. Professor Nando Gopal Sahu, J.C. Bose Memorial Award. Professor Anil Kumar Meghnad Saha Memorial Award. Professor Sumon Jha, Saminathan Memorial Award. Sumon Jha, please receive the award on behalf of him. Please. ये रख लो आप.
चिन्मय महापात्रा के बाद गलत नाम डाल दिया.
ठीक है. ना 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 चिन्मय महापात्रा अलग है. Professor Bhisham Narayan Singh, Susruta Memorial Award. Professor Mohesh Kumar Shah, Har Govinda Khurana Memorial Award. अभी आप बोलना, अभी आप बोलना.
And the last but not the least, the Narayan Chandra Misra sir, Susrata Memorial Award. Please sir. Clap. proceed for the best poster award. He is not there.
Professor Sougato Hajra Edward Jenner Memorial Award. So Professor Hajra is not here. Professor Praloy Maiti is receiving the award on behalf of him. Professor Amol Kanti Bera Nikola Tesla Memorial Award. He is not here. Please receive the award on behalf of him. Please. कीर्तिराज का है एक कीर्तिराज कहाँ गया Professor Kirtiraj Gaikwad J.C. Bose Memorial Award. Please Himangshu, please receive the award. Oh, he is not here. Professor Himangshu is receiving on behalf of him.
So the next best poster award, Balram Mishra from NIT Roorkee. Please come first. This one, these are the best poster. Next, Sukanya Patra.
No, ये Professor Chinmay Mahapatra Susruta Memorial Award, please.
Dr. Ravi Prakash, IIT BHU. Ravi Prakash, Best Poster Award. Next, Rajesh Chandra Bhatt, Kumaon University. Rajesh Chandra Bhatt. Come fast. Tanisha Mukhopadhyay, Haldia Institute of Technology. Absent. Next, Pawan Kumar Pandey. Pawan Kumar Pandey.
Next also.
Dr. Balachandran. Academia Sincia. Dr. Balachandran.
Next also it is. Next.
Darshana from IIT BHU. Darshana. Miss Ankita S. MAHE Manipal. Dafika S. Dakkar, IIT BHU. Dafika. Next, Pramod Yadav, IIT Roper. Madhu Smita Das, Triple IIT Design and Manufacturing, Jabalpur. Dafika S. Dakkar, IIT BHU. पोस्टर में और किसी को दे सकते हैं?
नाम बता दो ना, आ जाए ना इधर स्टेज पे।
हो गया,
रेस्ट खत्म हो गया। हाँ?
खत्म। एक
दो
एब्सेंट
लोग आया
है,
नहीं है तो?
1 एब्सेंट।
नहीं, दो है।
उनका नाम ले लीजिए ना सर, वो जो
टू एब्सेंट है। प्रमोद यादव एब्सेंट, तनीषा मुखोपाध्याय
हो गया तो उसका नाम
नहीं हो गया।
महाराष्ट्रीयन लड़की फ़ोन की थी,
ले लिया।
उसका नाम
कौन है? वो भी ले लिया, दो है क्या? वो छोड़ दो लिस्ट वाले। फिर बाकी
नेक्स्ट, बेस्ट इंटेलिजेंट स्टूडेंट अवार्ड। ये रहा, इसमें से दीजिए। दिव्या पारिक, IITBHU। दिव्या पारिक, IITBHU। सोनम स्वरूपा, NIT राउरकेला।
सुकन्या पात्रा, ठीक है।
सोनम स्वरूपा, NIT राउरकेला। प्रवीण, IIT रुड़की। प्रवीण, IIT रुड़की। नेक्स्ट, दिवाकर सिंह, IIT BHU।
गोपीनाथ का लड़का का नाम
हाँ बोलते
पता है ना?
नेक्स्ट, यू गो। नेक्स्ट, GK चिंतनभाई सेल्वन।
सुकन्या पात्रा,
कहाँ उसका? नेक्स्ट, सुकन्या पात्र। सुकन्या पात्र, IITBHU। माँ सरस्वती अवार्ड। माँ सरस्वती दे दिया होगा, एक्स्ट्रा दिया होगा। गर्गी मिश्रा। गर्गी मिश्रा, गार्गी।
निर्विता साहू।
नेक्स्ट, निवृता साहू। नेक्स्ट, गरिमा मिश्रा। नेक्स्ट, तनीषा मुखर्जी। तनीषा मुखर्जी। नेक्स्ट, गौतम मिश्रा। गौतम मिश्रा।